On verse number 14, 14 chapter, 19th verse. So here it says that the agent is nothing other than the three gunas, right? So how can those three gunas be the agent?
Agency is also a product of the three gunas. Get it like that. Agency. Agent is one who has agency. What is agency if you ask what? What is agency? Atma has no agency. If Atma has no agency, then who is the agent? Who is the agent? If you ask,
It's a mind that is the agent, right?
doesn't matter. Whatever you say,
Ah,
mind is the agent. So mind is what? Mind is Trigunatmika or not?
mind is Trigunatmika.
That's what he's saying. Even agency is not separate from the three gunas.
Ah,
And so there is no question of somehow there being an agent. That person who has an identity, I, okay, it is all part of the three gunas only. Even ahankara is trigunatmika. And therefore, I am bound because three gunas are bound. That is what Krishna has said. Bondage is there. There is no question of freedom. If I take myself to be a karta, correct? Kartrutvam is part of this srishti, is part of this jivatvam. Okay. And therefore, somehow I cannot, using my kartrutvam, I can never become free. Because kartrutvam is part of this prakriti. And whatever is the result of my kartrutvam is also going to be part of the prakriti. And therefore, kartrutvam is also bondage. Karma phalam is also part of the bondage only. Okay. Correct? And therefore, I have to look for something which is not part of the three gunas. Is there such a thing? That question has to arise. That's what Krishna is indicating here. I'll see, I've not seen the commentaries of others on this topic. I'll see if they expand on that. And if they provide any other way of interpreting this thing. Okay.
so Jaykumarji, then will it be right to say Ahankara is the karta, and because Ahankara is the gunatmika, then the gunas in that sense are the agents? Is that or the agency is a product of the three gunas, like you said?
Yeah. Everything you said is right. Who is the karta? Suppose you ask. Who is the karta? Who is the karta?
So it's Ahankara, right? Because Ahankara is the one saying, I did this, I did that.
Okay, the guy who said, I woke up. Let's start from the
Yeah.
beginning. Beginning of the day. Beginning of the day, what happens? Let's think about it a little bit. The person who says it's 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay, all right. The person who says it's time to wake up. Okay. Who says all that? Yeah, that ahankara, that I thought has come. And that some independent entity, there is an entity called I, that idea has come about. That this huge idea it is, but it has come about. And I know who I am, I know where I live, I know what is going to be done, I know who is there in this house, who's not there in this. Everything, the entire history is all just in a flash of a second, it has all come. Correct? And so that karta, that person, ahankara, often referred to as ahankara. Correct? Or chidabhasa. In some context, they will say chidabhasa. Chidabhasa. Because it's a thought that is such an important thought. It's a thought finally, right? And it's unique. So it's a reflection of the consciousness in the mind, like that they will say. Yeah. That mind has the capacity to provide that ahankara. Otherwise, I'm no different than a stone or any other thing. But for the mind to reflect it and then give an identity and then make me do stuff and then suffer or be happy, everything is just an amazing thing. Is it not? Yeah. Swapna, go ahead.
So, extending Vaidyaji's query, if I can summarize this verse 19, so one who knows the ahankara and that I am not the ahankara, right? This verse talks about both, right? The person who knows that I am ahankara and I am not ahankara, separating ahankara from atma, right? That
Correct.
is
Correct. Correct. And who is doing that? Who is the person who knows? Atma knows or what?
the
seer.
Sakshi.
Oh, Sakshi means what? Atma or what?
Atma.
Any other answers? Any other answers?
It's Ankara itself who knows.
Okay, so that's the question, right? So who is this? Who is all this? Who is the central piece of this whole Shastram? If you ask, what is the Shastra? Who is the Shastram meant for? Well, Shastram is not meant for Atma. Atma can neither know or Atma can neither be ignorant. Ignorance and knowledge does not apply to Atma at all. Therefore, it applies for the one who says, I am bound. One who says, I want to be free. Who says, I want to be free? Atma does not say, I want to be free. Ahankara says, I want to be free. There is a jiva. Ahankara, jiva. These are all synonymous at this point. Who says, yeah, I think this I have recognized there is a cycle going on and there is a trap and I do want to be free from that trap. So I say so many things this I is saying. And that ahankara is the one who can say veti, yaha veti, that ahankara which comes to know. Correct?
Yeah. Verse 20, how would the Anvaya go? This is how I have come up with. So, etan treen gunan atitya deha samudbhavan dehi janma mrityu jara dukkaihi vimukto mritamashnute. Vimukta amritam ashnute.
Right. So that deha samudbhavan, put it after along with the gunan and tring, because it's all same, no? Samanadikarinyam.
Correct.
So etan trin deha samudbhavan gunan atitya. Okay, you do that. Guna is the primary thing, then everything else is an adjective to guna. Then what happens? Dehi janma mritya jara dukkaihi vimuktaha bhavati. Semicolon. Dehi amritam ashnute.
Correct. Okay. Dhanyavada.
Ashnute.
And I just Arjuna asked the same question, right? Chapter 5, it's the same, right? This verse 21. It's, it just makes me laugh that how much reinforcement Arjuna needs. It's the same chapter 5 that Krishna is going to talk in the next few verses, right? Going to describe the wise person.
Right, right. So, and we are in the same boat, right? So it's not like many different topics are actually being discussed. Really speaking, it appears like many topics, but they're all same topic only.
That is true. That is so true. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Dhanyavada.
Surendraji, go ahead.
My question was similar to Swapnaji's question, in the sense that Arjuna is in a state of confusion in the beginning. At the end of second chapter, he's asking Sthita Prajnasya Ka Bhasha. At that time, I think he's not fully understanding, but having gone through Vibhuti Yoga and this other Vishwarupa Darshan, his mind has become more calm. He's more receptive, and probably he's now trying understanding who is he really. This is what I think maybe the purpose of this question.
Yeah, no, you're right. We have to give him some credit,
Yes.
See, the thing is, still the reflection time is not there because Krishna has been going on talking. He is not able to reflect on it. Manana has not happened in the 1.5 hours time.
Yeah, he's not taking notes. He's not doing Anvaya and all these things. He's the Padacheda, Sandhi and all he's not doing. So we are doing a lot of stuff in between. Yeah, Vaidya, go ahead.
So Jayakumar, a follow-up. So so the key is in that verse number 19 is the Ahankara has to realize that he is the Atma and not the Karta, correct?
Correct. Ahankara has to recognize that
Mhm.
Ahankara is Atma, but Atma is not Ahankara.
Mhm.
And I am Atma.
Mhm.
I am not Ahankara.
Mhm.
Even though Ahankara is needed for transactions,
Mhm.
Atma doesn't transact. But I am Atma, but somehow transacting. I've taken myself to be a transactor while I'm not really speaking. The three gunas are what make the transactions happen and make me think that I am that karta. Make me think also. Prakriti, Maya, So Maya is not ordinary. So I am under the spell of Maya. Krishna says, I am not in the spell of Maya. Maya is there. Krishna also has Maya. Maya is very much there in Krishna also. Very much. That is why Krishna likes to play the flute. Why he doesn't play some other instrument? At least modern day, something else he should do. I think we should come up with a modern day Krishna. I think Meera should conduct the next camp. Maybe try what happens instead of flute, something else. I don't know how people will respond. Modern day Krishna or something.
Guitar.
Eh?
Guitar.
Yeah, I don't know I don't know what people will do. Which Krishna do you like? Guitar playing Krishna or flute playing guitar or Krishna or what? Something like three Krishnas, something. I don't know. Meera will do all these things. She's capable. You should see the way she conducts camps. Yeah, Anuradha ji, go ahead.
This vimuktaha, is it always the thing you said that it's not only mukta, but without doing anything mukta?
Okay. Yeah, so that word vimuktaha can be interpreted. And muktaha is enough, is free. Muktaha means free. And vimuktaha, so visheshena muktaha. So free in a very special way. If a person is in jail and bound, the person has to be freed by some karma, some action, etc. And so there is some karma involved in freedom, in gaining freedom. In general, in gaining, to be free from all the things I don't want, to be free from the heat, something else I have to do. I have to cool myself down somehow. So all this karma is involved. So vimuktaha means effortlessly free. Anayasena. Muktihi. Anayasena. I don't have to please Krishna in order to be free also. How about that? I don't have to please any god to be free. How about that? Why? Kshetrajnanchapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. So who is going to please whom? What karma can free me? So I explained it that way. Vimuktaha. Vimuktaha. Totally free. Just being alive free. You don't have to die also to be free. At least I must die in order to be free, right? That at least. No. That also is not there.
So when
Life.
Shankaracharya sings Nitya Shuddha Vimuktaham, so it's the same meaning then?
Yeah, so Nitya Shuddha, only the Nitya Muktaha can be Vimuktaha. Atma cannot become free suddenly. That freedom is not possible. That freedom is temporary moksha. And so Nitya Shuddha Buddha Muktaha. Correct. Only Nitya Satchidananda Atma can be Vimuktaha because it always was Muktaha. Yeah, so we can say a lot about that word Vimuktaha. Yeah.
But whenever it's used, we can take it this way, that's effortlessly.
So we should bring that in because it is Jnanena Mokshaha and there is Jivan Muktihi and all. And so Jivan Mukti can't be possible if effort is involved. Effort cannot produce the infinite. Nasti akritaha kritena. Mundaka says. Mundaka says that about the student, not even about the teacher. The student, Pariksha Lokan Karmachitan, having analyzed all experiences of himself, herself, and the rest of the people also. We have so many examples. So much is there for me to learn from. Pariksha Lokan Karmachitan, Nirveda Mayat Brahmanaha. This guy is now called a Brahmana. Why? Because that guy has got the Nirvedam, Vairagyam has come. And he says, you know what? I'm caught up in something that I need to come out of. And then Nasti Akritaha Kritena. It seems this guy has figured out, without even talking to the Guru, he has figured out. What he has figured out? Nasti Akritaha Kritena. A, what I want is something that cannot be produced by action. No amount of tapas I do can produce what I want. The student is thinking like this, it seems. Therefore, Guru Meva Bigache, therefore, go after the Guru. To know that. What kind of a Guru? Shostrem, Brahmanishtam, etc. I talked to. Samit Panihi. So Samit Panihi, because now you're entering a totally different world altogether. And this guy has realized so much, recognized so much. Na karmana moksha, he already knows that. He's just a uttamadhikari he's become. Correct? So we can say a lot. I just chose to say it like that. Vimukta. Swamiji doesn't say that. He just says free and then he moves to the next word. But I wanted to bring that. Because in Kathopanishad also we are going to get Or we finished Vimuktascha Vimuchyate. Did we finish it now? Recently, I think. Last class or 2 classes. Vimuktascha Vimuchyate. They also use that. So,
Okay, thank you.
yeah. We have to invoke those things. We have to periodically invoke. Yeah.
So,
Aniruddha.
So Jaykumarji, can we now say that having understood so far about the gunas, we know the basis of raga and dvesha?
Sorry, we know that.
The basis of raga and dvesha. What causes raga and dvesha? Gunas. So
Yes.
I think the journey is getting subtler and subtler and subtler. It may have started from one point, but now we have peeled, and now we are coming down to ultimately we should, by the end of the 18th, we should see the self. Or that is what the hope is. But I think we are now, uh, approaching the same problem in a more, I hate to use the word, but sophisticated or more. I don't like that word. I can't think of something else right now. But with little more humility, with little more, sophistication. Sorry,
Sophistication and sanctity also.
sanctity. Yes. Thank you.
Sanctity.
That's
Because
better word.
yeah, Indriyasyarthe raga dvesha vyavasthita. That we can understand. Likes and dislikes we can understand because that's gross. Likes and dislikes are there, and everybody, you use that language, anybody can understand. But now, yeah, he has given up that word and comes to Triguna. And so, yeah, it's using a different model now, different language, but finally coming to the same idea. Correct. Sapna, you had something to say at that time.
yeah, now, so Vimukta can be said as Jnanena Muktaha equals Vimuktaha. Is that correct?
See, technically, somebody, if you say that, somebody can argue, oh, is there some other type of muktaha then? And so this is a special mukti called Jnanena Muktaha. Then Karmana Muktaha pi asti. And I would prefer Karmana Muktaha than to Jnanena Muktaha because all this language I don't understand. Suppose somebody says that. Then we'll get stuck.
Okay.
Muktaha itself means Jnanena Muktaha. But Vimuktaha, because Veti and all is said here. So we Jivan Mukti we bring a Jnanena Mokshaha and Ihaiva Tairjita Sargaha. Right now, here and now. When I am already buffeted by the 3 gunas, right at that moment itself, I am taha, therefore vimuktaha. So we have to be careful. We have to be careful because there is no other mukti. There is no other mukti. Any other mukti has to be a relative mukti. For all, there is a mukti. Relative freedom is there. Karma yoga gives that mukti, relative freedom. Then Jnana yoga makes it complete.
So the V prefix, right? Vijaya, right? Jaya, Vijaya. So Muktaha, Vimuktaha. So the prefix itself has a meaning, right?
Yeah. So
Like Anu.
yeah, like Anu. So jnanam teham savijnanam. So there he says that jnanam and then vijnanam also I'll tell you, like that Krishna had said. Then we give a slightly different meaning to jnana. Because vijnanam becomes specific atma vidya. And jnanam should be all saguna vidya. Nirguna vidya, saguna vidya. So here maybe if we say vimuktaha, then muktaha must be karma yogena muktaha. Can we be free from karma yoga? Free by karma yoga? What did Krishna say in the 3rd chapter? Yat sankhya prapyate sthanam tad yogairapi gamyate ekam sankyam cha yogam cha yah pashyati sa pashyati. Oh, big statement he makes there. He says karma yoga, don't ignore. Don't ignore. It's Karma Yoga itself can take you all the way. Like that, he had said that. To highlight the importance of karma. Doesn't mean karmana mokshaha or jnanena mokshaha. Two things are possible. Doesn't mean that. And so we can do that. Karma yogena muktihi, jnana yogena vimuktihi. We can make an argument for that. Because the word vimukti is there. In some other context, mukti itself will mean vimuktihi.
धन्यवाद.
Yeah. We have to interpret these words in keeping with the overall vision of Sri Krishna. And the way I can really process it. That's how I see the way when Pashikara is explaining things and how some of the commentators, Tikakaras explain. I see that they choose to interpret things in a way that keeps the whole intact. Yeah. Giran, go ahead.
I was just trying to look at the what is that? The 13th chapter. The same words were repeated, right? Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, Dukkha, Doshanudarshanam. So, Priyartheshu, Vairagyam, Anahankara Evacha, that is dispassion towards sense objects, absence of pride. So he's trying to say that these values which have been emphasized upon will lead you to understand you can go beyond gunas.
Correct.
The knowledge what you gain out of these values will help you actually to understand that these are all the effect of gunas.
Correct. Correct.
So that's the path. That's the reason that has been mentioned as values in 13th, and then is. So I understand it as Mukta Sangha Samachara, something like that. That is to give you the understanding that the gunas can be transcended, whatever we use, param, and that is vimukta. That knowledge which you understand that this will still be there, but you are not that. That is vimukta.
Right. So that preparatory stage, Amanitvadi, is so important.
Yeah.
Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukkha Dosha Anudarshana is there. So even as a karma yogi, I know it. I know that these things are natural to the body, Janma Mrityu, etc. And therefore, that attitude is such an important thing already. But I don't know. I need to know a little bit more. And then the guna idea gives me the fact that it is the gunas that creates all these janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi, etc. And I am guna thita. Already by karma yoga, I have come to handle all the janma, mrityu, etc. And so now our Shastram says you are free from this means it's easy for me to accept.
That's what Pujya Swamiji also says in his Value of Values. Without these gunas, understanding these values, you cannot have knowledge.
Without the values, say that again, without the values, then
the mind is not prepared to understand the gunatita aspect.
You cannot have that. Thank you, sir. Without these values, you cannot acquire knowledge.
Right. So, it's somewhat like learning to drive. You have to be a driver. That's why these kids and all, they're raring to sit. I want to drive with them. I remember I used to keep my nephew on my lap and then take him for a drive. But I asked him to drive. And so he would act as though he's driving. And so that thing is so important. It's so important to feel, no, I am a driver. Who are you to tell me I can't drive? You have a license, you can drive. I don't have a license, I can't. No, that I don't accept that argument, the child says. So that thing is there. Already I am a driver. I just have to get a license like thing. And so that is why Amanitvadi is so important. So that's why Karma Yoga, that's why Shankaracharya, Krishna gives so much importance to Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is so important. We talk about Jnanam. Jnanam is there, it's okay. But Karma Yoga is important. How I lead my life on a daily basis, how I respond to situations and all is something we have to constantly assess. And that itself will be very liberating, right? And then Jnanam is cakewalk after that.
That way, if you look at it, the values what he speaks in the 13th chapter is basically for you to develop your Ishvara Arpana Buddhi.
Yes, yes.
Simply, Karma Yoga, he's talked about first behavior, he talked about work, then he comes to behavior, then he comes to attitude, then he's coming to the cause of the attitude. Correct?
Yeah, yeah,
He's building up.
correct.
Finally, is coming, everything let it be as it is, but you are not that.
Let it be as it is. Yeah. Just observe it if you can.
Anyways, you're not doing it.
Correct. But it can't be fatalistic also, at the same time.
Because I think if you don't have the understanding of Karma Yoga and Ishvara Arpana Buddhi, the knowledge per se can be very harmful to the society.
Right. Right.
The person can inflict pain on himself and others.
Yeah. Very much.
Why?
Very.
Why?
Because when you start thinking that I am not the doer of, I am just being prompted by somebody to do something is pushing me to do something, so I will always blame that thing for all my actions. I'll not be responsible for my actions. So
Right. So that risk is always there. That risk is there.
maybe that's why so many chapters has to be gone through before understanding something Gunatita.
And that's why dharma becomes important. Before moksha, dharma is there.
Yeah.
So we can never forget dharma as we do all these things.
Yeah.
It is tempting to say, it's tempting to just walk away from it all. Oh my God, this is great, Things are the way it is. And so I will just dissociate myself from everything.
So that keeps me on. For Jnani also, he is following dharma and adharma, because his actions also is with respect to the world, right? So he has to be very much in line with, even though he is not affected by what happens to his body, he knows, but still when he is interacting with the world, he has to keep dharma, adharma, though he knows anyatra dharma.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
So I saw one explanation about these 4 Purusharthas in Ramayana. Rama is the embodiment of Dharma, Lakshmana is the embodiment of Karma, Shatrughna is Kama, and Bharata is Artha. So
No. Bharata is moksha.
Bharata is moksha, right? So whenever karma goes, karma has to go with dharma only. That is why Lakshmana goes along with Rama. That is the analogy being given there. And moksha cannot leave a place and go away. That's why moksha stays there only.
No. Artha cannot leave that place, because then the entire prosperity is taken out of Ayodhya. So Sugriva remains Ayodhya. Moksha, Bharata decides to go away from Artha and lead his life. So
He goes away.
he is away. He
doesn't stay he stays in the forest, right?
He does the puja to dharma and he is away because he doesn't want the kingdom. Moksha is not after pleasures. At the same time, he's waiting for dharma to come back to realize him.
And karma cannot be without dharma. That is why Lakshmana will always be with Rama.
Yeah, that's interesting. Artha. So Shatrughna is there in Ayodhya.
He doesn't move out.
He doesn't move out. Then the prosperity is gone. And where Artha is there, Bharata is not there. He is away. He is doing puja to dharma. Moksha does puja to dharma.
That's good. That's good. I've not heard that, but it's good.
This is what our Trivedi, Sudhanshu Trivedi quoted. He quoted it from some other person saying it.
Okay.
I'll send you the clipping.
Somebody could have written that. Yeah.
He quoted, this is what he says that I heard it when I was an young boy. Sudhanshu Trivedi quotes that.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Okay, so we'll pause with that. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalasha Hastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanathaye Shri Mahavishnave Namaha. Thank you.